Hello, hello. What is up? What is down? Yo, Victoria, what's up? You're here very early. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, I had this idea that tonight is gonna be a chill night. I'm still thinking maybe I'll play a little later. But for the time being, we're gonna be watching some lore. Not much, just watching some anime. Oh yeah? What anime you watching? I'm just trying to find a good video at the moment. Never heard of it. Kind of interested in this one, but it's an hour long. I have to look it up. Maybe. I also saw Allie pop in here and like. So thank you both for liking. And goddamn, you're early. I'm also interested in this one. Yo, Allie, you need some COD Zombies, you need some COD Zombies lore in here. Who am I interested in? What am I interested in? Hell yeah. Bro, there's a 6-hour video of fucking COD Zombies lore, and I'd be so down to sit here and stream the whole damn thing. Damn. Rest in peace. Just get more. Duh. Just kidding. Okay. Let's see. Oh, yeah, there you go. Okay. Um, I couldn't decide for myself, so I just hit shuffle. Um, so I guess we're gonna start with, I don't know, something on the Blight. Lore about the Blight. Do we care about it? I don't know. Maybe we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how this video is. My brain kind of hurts, but that's okay. Let me know if it's too quiet, too loud, too something.
Friends and foes, survivors and
It
killers.
is kind of quiet.
Let's sit around the campfire together and talk about Dead by Daylight. Specifically, about the very first character I ever talked about on this channel, almost 6 months ago to the day. Today, we'll be talking about Talbot Grimes, better known as the Blight. But before we go any further, don't think that this is some redux of my old Blight video or me treading back over old ground. While the video I made almost half a year ago
Hope everyone
concerned
brought their
itself
snacks.
largely with the Blight's implications,
I don't have any
given my
snacks.
branded story, I neglected to
Shit,
actually
bro.
look at the
Hold on a
character of
minute.
the Blight himself and the design decisions that made Talbot Grimes into the character.
I need to go look at these COD Zombies videos.
Back in August 2020, when behavior began to tease the release of the Blight, nobody could have seen the kind of killer that we were going to get. We had guesses such as a werewolf, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Oh shit! Okay.
And Tai Lung from Kung Fu Panda somehow. Maybe we were thinking from the furries. I don't know.
Oh yeah, you added the one that I was talking about. Fuck yeah!
I guess that this new killer was the alchemist from the first.
Definitely watching those.
The Hunger. But even those who did were still.
I think this guy plays Bird Game. Absolutely.
With regards to his actual power, most of the guesses either seem to be revolving around that transformation idea, where he injects himself with pustular serum to make himself stronger, or playing hard.
I don't have any snacks, so make some for me.
Experimental chemist angle, where the alchemist would inflict debuffs on the survivors. What I'm pretty sure nobody saw coming was a high mobility chasing killer who spends 80% of his time running into walls and the other 20% running you over. See, I was kind of excited for the alchemist as a killer in the game because I love a good mad scientist. I find the tropes and themes typically associated with them, such as hubris, obsession, and the rejection of the human experience in the pursuit of something greater, to be really compelling.
Alright, no flirting in the chat. Come on now. Let's keep it professional.
In the near future. So when the Blight's power got revealed and I got the chance to play with it, I was a little underwhelmed. My expectations for what kind of killer we'd get from a colonial-era alchemist who experimented meticulously on the other killers during the Hallowed Blight were thoroughly subverted. But not in a positive, Jojo Rabbit-esque, holy fuck, they actually managed to pull it off kind of way.
I'm just
joking. Last Jedi Rise of Skywalker sort of disappointing way. Like it was done spitefully, or out of neglect for what had come before. Full disclosure, part of this might be due to just how much I dislike the Blight's power, both in concept and execution. I like killers where you make a decision early and are rewarded for it later. Like infecting a group of survivors early instead of competing to a chase, and being rewarded with them being fully broken later down the line. Or leading one of the twins along a route the survivor is most likely to take and then chasing them with the other one, to get paid off when they run right into you. They allow for skill expression by both the survivor and the killer outside of the chase. Meaning you have to think about stuff and stay on your toes even when you're not actively being chased. When you outwit a survivor like that, or when you see what the killer is trying to do and beat them at their own game, that, to me, is the best feeling in this game. And from the character described in the stories of Talbot Grimes, that was what it looked like we were going to get. When I read his story, I saw him as a more nuanced and human take on the conventional mad scientist trope, compared to the unapologetically cruel and inhumane Dr. Herman Carter who preceded him. Talbot's story balanced the real-life horrors of human experimentation for the British East India Company during the First Opium War, with a surprisingly sympathetic story about how ambition and a desire for constant improvement can drive a man with good intentions to acts of extreme cruelty. Talbot is a meditative, focused and methodical man, haunted by the ghosts of his past.
Alright, I'll pause the video for this, because I keep on talking over it. I think I'm gonna at least do this for an hour, and then if we're bored, who knows that we're gonna be bored, but if we are bored, I'm probably going to actually play DBD for a bit, but we'll see how that goes.
But the Blight as it's implemented into the game couldn't be more different. The Blight is played aggressively, as you switch targets almost impulsively and use your physique to cover ground quickly and run your victims down. The power doesn't fit the character, as if they designed the power first and couldn't be bothered to make a character that fits properly, so they just used the alchemist since he'd already been established as a character in the lore. People wanted to see him in the game anyway. It's like Talbot and the Blight are two completely different characters.
Hell yeah,
One
dude.
is intellectual and thoughtful, the other is unpredictable and aggressive. But maybe I'm judging the Blight too harshly. There's undoubtedly a disconnect.
All my
between
love goes
Simon
out to the dream
personality,
team.
But maybe that disconnect can be rationalized or understood. Maybe there's a method to behavior's madness that I just haven't seen yet. So I decided to retrace behavior's footsteps, working backwards from the Blight's original inspirations to see if there's a common thread tying it all together. So that's the point of this video, making Blight make sense. And I've got to play a lot of Blight to do it. Oh joy. I thought a good starting point for my research here
I
would be
hate
to
playing
look at
against the
mad
Blight.
scientists of fiction and see if something like this had been done before, where the scientist assumes multiple drastically different personalities that change him both mentally and physically. This research took me all of 3 seconds because that trope is fucking everywhere, to the point of being a pop
He's
culture
too fast. He's too quick for me.
Seth Brundle immortalised by the iconic Jeff Goldblum in The Fly, Marvel's Bruce Banner and the Hulk, the Master turning himself into the human Professor Yana in Doctor Who. The more you look for this trope, the more widespread you realise it is. Don't get me wrong, it's not a trope exclusive to scientists by any means. We've seen it with characters like Smeagol and Gollum in The Lord of the Rings, and Kevin's various personalities struggle against each other in Split. But it is particularly noteworthy with regards to scientists because of the progenitor of this trope, where it all started in popular culture. The strange case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Yeah, I hate the Blight.
Penned by Robert Louis Stevenson in 1886,
I especially hate playing against him in like 2v8 or something.
follows the lawyer Gabriel Utterson, who is a friend of the respectable scientist Dr. Robert Jekyll. Fraught with the desire to do evil and selfish actions, but reluctant to do them himself due to the moral and material consequences of those actions, Jekyll creates a potion to bring out...
Here, let me
Holt's
pause
ego.
one more time. I just gotta say that if I was off tomorrow, I would absolutely watch that entire, I would absolutely watch that entire COD Zombies video. Again, mind you. But yeah. 100%. Yeah, I kind of like playing against the Hillbilly, I'm not gonna lie.
So that he
Although,
loses inhibitions and
when I
avoids
fuck up, I
feelings
do,
of
like,
guilt or regret.
I do get a
As
little
anyone
upset.
on the internet before will tell you, giving people the option to erase their own identity often results in them being unpleasant or cruel to other people because anonymity helps them assuage any guilt they would
Definitely
otherwise
recommend
have to
it.
deal with.
I listened to it at
Uses the
work,
Hyde persona to function
and
like
it,
that for him.
it just made the day go by so quickly, bro. It was so interesting to listen to.
But also has enough of a good side to know he'd feel guilty about it if he ever actually did any of those things. Like a child with an imaginary friend, Jekyll uses Hyde to shift the responsibility for the evil things he wants to do. I didn't take the cookie from the jar, Hyde did it. I didn't not pay for WinRAR, Hyde did it. I didn't face camp that Fabian because she clicked her flashlight at me like a toxic little shit, Hyde did it. If we read Talbot's story, we can see that he has a similar moral divide to Jekyll, but deals with it in a very different way.
Huh.
From his time at the London School of Medicine, where he was reprimanded by his superiors for his methods, to his 7 years of human experimentation in the employ of the British East India Company, we can see that Talbot Grimes
Okie
performs
dokie.
unethical actions on the regular to get the results he needs.
Make sure to bring the popcorn back.
But he spends a lot of his time trying to avoid the moral implications of what he's doing. He brushes off reports of his test subjects committing atrocities in the field of battle as mere exaggerations. And it's only when he is literally dragged kicking and screaming to the bodies that his experiments created that he finally comes to terms with what he did. But instead of trying to bury his guilt by hiding behind an alternate persona, Talbot acknowledges what he did and accepts whatever punishment is to be inflicted on him. In many ways, he's a bigger man than Jekyll. Instead of rejecting his identity and his humanity to hide from his sins, Talbot owns up to what he's done and is almost killed for it. But if Talbot chooses to take responsibility for his actions, rather than hide behind an alternate persona, where does the blight come from? And why am I comparing it to Jekyll and Hyde? Because, like Dr. Jekyll, the effects of Talbot's transformation into the blight only become obvious when it's too late to do anything about it. Once Talbot is taken by the entity, he almost immediately begins work to attempt an escape. He found an abandoned laboratory full of notes by a mysterious Vigo, chronicling his attempts to escape the fog using something called putrid serum that he collected from the pustula flowers that grew across the entity's worlds. Once a year, during something called the Hallowed Blight, the entity swelled with these orange flowers that seep a viscous orange nectar. In a desperate attempt to reconstitute the formula that Vigo had used to escape, Talbot began to harvest this nectar and produce
Actually, you know what?
that he would test.
Hold on. I have a good idea. After this video, we'll start that one. Because I really want to listen to it again. So, yeah, we'll start it tonight. And yeah, we'll either end it maybe about an hour in, or just keep watching it until I stop streaming. But we'll see.
On as many living subjects as he could, himself included. This is where the 3 years of the continuous Hallowed Blight skins came from. They were the results of Talbot's experiments with the serum, as he would test it on whichever killers he was able to capture and subdue,
Damn.
for long enough to fill them up with this orange goo. Side note here, I don't fully understand how he was able to capture some of the killers for long enough to do this. Some of the more ordinary ones, like Ghostface or the Legion, I'm willing to spare my disbelief that Talbot was able to overpower them with the help of the serum. But there's no way you're convincing me that even with the serum's help, that he was able to overpower someone as beefy, not to mention electroconductive, as the Doctor. Much less literal actual ghosts like the Nurse, the Wraith and the Spirit. Did he get the other killers, the ones who weren't blighted, to help him out? Because now I can't get rid of the mental image of Charlotte carrying the Huntress over her shoulder, while Victor runs behind her carrying a little bucket full of hatchets. By the way, if anyone wants to draw that, tweet it to me or put it in the Discord, because I'm sure we'd all use it.
Maybe they were just complicit. And they wanted to be injected with the blight serum or whatever.
He used to bring Mr. Hyde out. The effects of the pustula serum were only temporary. The killers' bodies would return to normal once the Hallowed Blight was over, and for Talbot that wasn't good enough. He needed to come up with a permanent solution, and fast. Especially once the entity realised what he was doing and banished him to the void, without his equipment and without his test subjects. The sheer terror Talbot felt as he realised his number was up, when he was so close to success, can be summed up quite elegantly in these notes from the Hallowed Blight 2018 event. It's here. The entity is here. It has found me. Talbot's desperation led him to Compound 34, his final serum that he tested in a last-ditch attempt to escape using a single pustula flower he'd found growing in the void itself. And it didn't exactly have the desired effect. Compound 34 didn't return Talbot home, but instead broke his mind and twisted his body. The hunger shows Compound 34 pulling him out of the void and back into the entity's world, a very different man from the one who went in. That is the Blight we know today, a gnarled and serum-soaked imitation of who Talbot Grimes used to be. One both miserably aware of the nature of his new existence and powerless to change it. This reminds me a lot of the stage in The Fly.
What did bro think was gonna happen?
The reality of Seth's transformation starts to hit him, and he realizes
be completely
there's no going
honest.
back now. He's become something wholly other. There's nothing he can do about it. It's a tragic moment as Seth pushes Veronica away, with the understanding that he's changing into something monstrous. And it's similarly tragic as Talbot realises there's no coming back from who he is now. He's not just the conscientious Dr. Jekyll anymore, he's also Mr. Hyde, an inhuman creature shaped by Talbot's own hubris and ambitious desire to perfect his experimental formulas. But there's one thing I really don't understand. Talbot's obviously still intelligent, or else he wouldn't be able to make the serum he's become completely dependent on. The most recent Blight story, Doors Unknown, suggests that the damage that the Compound 34 has done to his mind comes in the form of hallucinations and memory loss. But doesn't actually impair his cognitive functions beyond that. He can still think. So, why did he spend his time running into walls? I don't get it. I don't understand where his power comes from. Like, the idea behind his power just doesn't make sense to me. It's like the power belongs to a whole different character. What am I supposed to say about this guy? Why am I even making this video? Playing is nothing short of a fucking chore. Winning feels unsatisfying, losing feels infuriating. Why am I making this video and not Doc? At least Doc's fun. For fuck's sakes, his shitty ass POV and the stupid fucking Lethal Rush hitboxes and the sliding. Oh fuck, the sliding! Fuck it, that's it, we're done here. Just don't like and subscribe or whatever the fuck it is you people do. I've had it, I'm out! Shitty ass fucking killer running around bonking. Look at this stupid fucking running around brushing. Jesus Christ.
So yeah. This file was sent to me on a flash drive in an unmarked envelope covered in curse words with a dead rat and some heavily used pictures of the plague that frankly disturbed me greatly. Sounds like whoever was working on it was having some frustrations about the blight, so I thought I might be able to help. Being a devoted blight main myself, I'm much more concerned with how his power works rather than the story behind it. Blight is something I'm very passionate about, and it's quite an honor to be invited to talk about Blight in this context. I may not be the most qualified person to talk about Blight and how his power fits in with his lore, but I can at least offer my own perspective. Originally, I wasn't a big fan of Blight at all. In fact, one could go so far as to say I hated the overall concept from the get-go. Especially after playing him in the PTB, I was convinced that behavior had yet again rushed a killer concept and completely botched the end result. Overall, Blight had me quite unexcited. It was only after a recommendation from a friend that I checked out the new and improved Blight post-release. I instantly fell in love, and I've been completely enchanted by the seemingly limitless possibilities his power presents. While simple in theory, it's incredibly complex in practice. It's in this way I think his backstory...
This must have been
and lore
before the
is
FOV
represented.
update, huh?
Blight, at the end of the day, is nothing more than a mere human, corrupted by the very thing he sought to understand. His lingering humanity is reflected in that, unlike the other killers with seemingly supernatural abilities, the extent of Blight's power is that he's able to run really fast. That's it. No shocking survivors with electricity, no collecting blood and powering up, no blinking through walls, and definitely no invisibility. Although he does seem to have a knack for popping up when you least expect it. While the concept of being a human pinball comes easily to most people, utilizing this killer's power to its max is quite difficult. Not only are you in a fight against the survivors, but you're also fighting against the map and the props within. Memorizing the properties of the environment around you takes a lot of time and game sense, which can distract you from the main goal of catching the survivor. Playing Blight is all about balancing your priorities and focusing on the most important thing at that moment, which can change on a whim. Don't even get me started about the intricacies of flicking, which elevate the skill cap for this killer far beyond any other in the game. High-level Blight play is fast, methodical, and intense. It's a blend of both science
This
and
isn't very
The very
lore.
best Blights seem to almost dance while they play, rushing from tree to rock to survivor with a certain amount of finesse and grace that I am yet to see in any other killer. The amount of self-expression and creativity his power allows for is something uniquely human, and this serves to highlight what I believe Blight is all about. That being human ingenuity and the pursuit of perfection. Now if you'll excuse me, I've got survivors to chase and flicks to hit. Cheers.
Jesus.
Happy place, Will. Happy place. Victor in Dakar. Okay, I'm back. Sorry for losing my rag earlier. I've calmed down a bit and I've been reflecting. Whoever this, American is, he's definitely got a point. As I played Blight more and more for this video, I came to realise that while his power is functionally isolated from his lore, that doesn't take into account.
Why does it look like Blight is so short? Look how tiny he is. Power
can impart onto the player behind the screen. I talked about this in my Halloween video, where I addressed how Michael Myers' power evokes the feeling of being the Shape, and how that feeling is a big reason for his long-lasting popularity.
For real, bro.
Despite the meta shifting against him,
I didn't know he was so I didn't know he was so hunchback like that. Goddamn.
When the Blight is mastered at the highest level, I can start to see where that level of evocative gameplay can come into its own. That's why I missed it on my experiences playing him. Because I haven't poured the time into him, it is necessary to unlock that sensation. While this video has been in production, I'm watching not just Ascension, but other accomplished Blight players, such as Lilith Omen, RGB Thigh-Socks, and Hindi Arts, who are absolutely enamoured with this greasy little pinball.
RGB Thigh-Socks is a crazy name.
They can do with the tools the Blight gives them. Talbot himself will be proud of their experimental spirit and pursuit of perfection, even if they haven't read enough about his lore to know it. And as for where his lore does tie in with his power, let me take you back to the Jekyll and Hyde comparison for a bit. The strange case of Jekyll and Mr. Hyde comes to its end when overuse of the potion causes Hyde to take full control, and the consequences of his evil actions start to come back to bite him. To protect himself from repercussions, Hyde starts to make another potion, one to turn him back into the respectable Dr. Jekyll and cover his tracks. Except, much like the initial potion only turned Jekyll into Hyde for a short time, Hyde's new potion was very limited in its effectiveness, to the point of only working in extremely heavy doses. Eventually, Jekyll realises that once Hyde takes over, there'll be no going back to his former self. So he writes a letter saying farewell to those he cared about, before Hyde takes over one last time, only to commit suicide before the police find him.
Goddamn.
With that in mind, I'd like to show you the end of the Blight story. It doesn't finish here where he takes Compound 34, it finishes here. The real ending of Talbot's story can be seen in the true Blight skin. Only in the Hyde behind the Jekyll. What passed for humanity in the Blight's mortal form is gone now, as his body twists to resemble the swollen cankers from which he used to drain his serum. The monstrous side of Talbot Grimes is fully on display now, and of the flowers. Talbot is exceptionally
He's very pretty.
Unlike Mr. Hyde, his final iteration is not yet permanent, as his body returns to its more human state after each Halloween Blight, much like the flowers recede. But one day, it just might be. And on that day, every sin Talbot Grimes has done,
Twitch is struggling.
every life he's ruined and every sacrifice he's made in the name of advancement will bite him back. His transformation into the Blight will be complete. Reduced to a slavering, mindless beast, rampaging across the entity's realms until it finally dies from pustular withdrawal, and nothing of Talbot will remain.
Yeah, dude. Very pretty.
So here we are, at the end of the Blight story. Has my opinion on him changed? Kind of. I still don't think the Blight's power fits well with his lore, but I do see how playing him lets you buy into the fantasy that Talbot's character promises of being logical and scientific in your methods. And the lingering idea of the true Blight perhaps being Talbot's final destiny does tie in nicely with the idea of his power being purely physical. If the pustula has completely corrupted his mind, then running around like a maniac seems entirely in character. Turns out there really was a method in behaviour's madness after all, and if you ask me, I don't even think they knew it at the time. The Blight was, in many ways, an experiment with a different kind of character, and whether it was a success or not is ultimately up to you. Regardless of my own opinions on the killer, I definitely gained a new respect for Blight's devoted fans over the past few weeks. Even though I still thoroughly dislike playing him, and have some issues with the core tenets of his design, I've got to admit the Blight community is first rate. Big thanks to
I can't believe you don't. I can't believe you don't see how. I can't believe you don't see how pretty he is. Unbelievable.
The links to his stream, his YouTube channel, and his Discord server are all in the description, so please go and check him out. This was my first actual collaboration on the channel, and it couldn't have been with anyone finer. If you like what I had to say about this killer and his story, then please do consider subscribing. Maybe like the video if you feel so inclined. Or just write me a comment talking about how much a piece of shit I am for not loving the Blight as much as you do. Really, anything goes. If you really like me and want to see more, I stream on Twitch every Wednesday and Sunday at 7:30.
Alright. That's enough. Alright. Let's get to the good stuff. See, exactly. I knew you'd agree. No, hold on. I have to refresh. Okay. Yeah. Oh. Alright. Jump ahead. No, I don't think I will.
For over a decade, the Call of Duty franchise has always managed to dominate the gaming market. While the multiplayer is so iconic it practically defines the shooting genre, there is an equally iconic game mode that has built up its own reputation. No one would have expected such a simple concept to blossom into something so meaningful, adapting the gameplay as well as the story as it grew in both popularity.
I was like, how long ago was this video? And yeah, that tells me everything that I need to know. Call of Duty used to be good. They've been going downhill recently.
Passion was Call of Duty Zombies.
Same with zombies, in my opinion.
While oftentimes to understand
Well,
and grasp a timeline.
to be fair, it's always been toxic. Like, trust me, I was fighting for my life in those Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 2 lobbies. I was there. It's just the game's not now. It's just toxic, and the game kind of sucks. Yeah, that's true. That's true too. Yeah, cheaters suck, and they've been running rampant in that game ever since at least MW 2019. Yeah. Oh well, what are you gonna do? The golden era is long gone.
Told through a chronological
The golden
perspective,
ages.
Call of Duty Zombies timeline can easily get very confusing and difficult to follow through this method alone. To best deliver the most coherent possible series of events, I will be using a mixture of both chronological and sequential storytelling to make everything as easy as possible to follow. With that said, I present you the complete, unabridged timeline of Call of Duty Zombies. Like most stories, everything starts at the beginning. Quite literally in this case. The first beings to ever exist in the universe were known as Keepers. They existed within the Ether. The Ether is
Look how
simply
pretty
a
he
name which
is.
encompasses the entire universe as a whole. The Keepers were unearthly
Oh my
creatures, but
gosh.
their intelligence and power was astounding. The very first Keeper to ever exist, simply referred to as the First One, created a device known as the Summoning Key. This single device is the oldest artifact in all of creation and allowed the Keepers to manipulate the Ether. With it, they created Agartha, a physical manifestation of the Ether itself. This place would go by many names: Paradise, the House, the place above creation. But despite what it was referred to, it was a location which exists outside of all known and unknown universes, and simply exists within its own pocket. This would be the home of the Keepers. The First One also used the Summoning Key to seed life across all other dimensions, each dimension with
Yeah, I don't
their
blame
own
you.
quirk. But as life goes on with all creation, there is destruction. The ether didn't come to exist without its complete opposite also being birthed. The dark ether serves as the hell to the ether's heaven. It is a realm of pure evil capable of corrupting anything that enters it. The Keepers eventually came to uncover its existence, and like most intelligent beings, it was their own curiosity and
Does everything have to be so ugly
which got
for?
the best of them. Here enter two very important figures into the timeline, Dr. Monty and the Shadow Man. Both of them are Keepers, however significantly more important than the others. The Shadow Man sought to use the Dark Ether's power for his own self-benefit, and so he ventured into it. Being his best friend, Dr. Monty attempted to stop him, however, was unsuccessful. The Dark Ether corrupted the Shadow Man and all of the Keepers who were with him. The corrupted Keepers began to become morphed, changing their appearance and becoming
This
an
is
entirely
lore,
new
Big J.
entity known as Apothicons.
Lore.
Unlike the Keepers, the Apothicons were given
Specifically
new
COD
purpose
Zombies
due to their
lore.
corruption. Their sole motivation became to wreak havoc across all of creation. They invented the Ether Pyramid, a device which could harness the power of the Dark Ether and control the Ether entirely. Seeing the danger the Apothicons posed, the Keepers were forced to take action and fight against them. This led to a war between the corrupted being led by the Shadow Man and the uncorrupted being led by Dr. Monty. This event would go on to be known as the War of Agartha. When all the smoke settled, it was the Keepers who came out victorious. Seeing their inevitable defeat, the Apothicons hid away their Ether Pyramid
Alrighty.
on the moon in one of the newly formed universes. All of the Apothicons were then banished to the Dark Ether, where it was to remain their prison. From here, Dr. Monty, as well as all of the other Keepers,
This is
vowed
lore
to
from
be
World
the
at War
protectors
to
of all
BO4, so
universes,
it's not-
guardians of the
it's not-
multiverse, never
it's
allowing
before,
the Apothicons'
you know, it
corruption
got bad.
to spread. As time passed, the Apothicons slowly, somehow, managed to worm its way out of imprisonment and into creation once more. And with it, they attacked humanity and Earth. In this universe, the Apothicons attacked humanity, and keeping true to their promise,
Although
the
this
Keepers
whole
once
thing, like, I
again
don't even know what the
descended
hell's...
upon Earth to fight
This
them
is like,
off.
it's so weird
This
that this
time,
is
the
zombies.
Keepers were aided by humanity. There was a group of warriors in particular.
There's the
which,
boys.
when banded together, they were able to put a stop to the Apothicons. This event would go down in this universe's history as the Great War. With that, the Keepers yet again sealed the Apothicons away. But similar to last time, the Apothicons still had a method of tampering with the multiverses. While they themselves were not able to cross back into creation, they were capable of sending a specific element. This element would widely be known as Element 115. With it carried all the chaos and evil of the Apothicons. With enough exposure to it, by simply being in its vicinity, it could create what we know as a zombie. By sending these elemental meteors to all of the dimensions, they were hoping that it would cause enough chaos somewhere to shatter creation itself. And by doing so, it would inevitably set them free from their prison once more. It is important to note that neither the Keepers nor the Apothicons can intervene directly with the free will of humanity. Anything they want them to do, they must decide according to their own volition. The reason this is relevant is due to a device known as the Agarthan device. This is yet another artifact which holds unspeakable power. The Agarthan device is capable of manifesting the user's will into reality, like a genie in a bottle. It was even capable of putting an end to the conflict between Keepers and Apothicons altogether. This is why both the Keepers and Apothicons sought this out. However, unlike the summoning key, which existed since the beginning, the Agarthan device needs to be crafted. It required three things: the blood of an Apothicon Elder God, an elemental shard which can only be obtained by binding 4 souls to the ether through a piece of element 115, and a vessel for everything to contain it. And all of that leads us to Earth in the original timeline. Where the Apothicons sent divinium meteors to different dimensions, in this timeline it was first uncovered by the small mining town of Purgatory Point in the year 1885. This story follows a man named Jebediah Brown. When he was only 10, he and his mother moved to Purgatory Point seeking a new life. The two settled in quite well, both getting jobs in the local shops. For over 40 years, there never quite seemed to be anything of note. But one day, the miners uncovered a mysterious blue rock. This was element 115. Due to the frequent and direct exposure to it, the rock corrupted a miner named Clive Farnsworth, who was turned into a zombie. He returned to the town and killed Jebediah's mother, viciously ripping out her throat. Clive was promptly killed by their neighbor, and Jebediah buried his mother.
The day's the 14th of April, the year of our Lord 1885. A day I will hold dear until my last. I have done and spent 30 years of my life in Purgatory Point. My ma brought me out here when I was but 10 years young. She hoped to give us a chance at a new life. They're good folk here in Purgatory Point. Sure, sometimes they get a little rowdy, and maybe we strayed too far from heaven's gaze, but what do you expect from a frontier mining town? Something happened to one of the miners. Clive Farnsworth, a good man, came by the shop a few times. Anyway, he went down into that mine, stayed down there for 10 days. When he came back up, he was changed. They say he was like a feral animal, rabid and carnivorous. His mind was gone, his flesh all sallow and bloody, his eyes ablaze in a red light. First home he stumbled upon was me and Ma's. I was at the shop at the time. Ma went out to meet him, and Clive, Doc said it happened quick. Clive jumped on her, ripped her throat. Old Bill ran over, put two through Clive's skull, shot him dead, like a dog. But Ma, she's been laid to rest now. She'll rise up to heaven, and bless her soul, she'll be greeted with open arms. That mine, they've been digging for that blue rock. Some folks say you stare too long, you'll find the devil in it. I need answers. I need to understand what happened. I'll head down to that mine tomorrow.
He knew something was wrong, as word had spread about this blue rock, and so he went searching for answers himself. He visited the Element 115 meteor, and upon his interaction with it, it forever changed him. The corruption had touched him, and thus connected him to the ether. That night, upon his return, he had visions from what he perceived as angels. In reality, these were the Keepers. They had warned him to prepare for what was
Very
coming,
angel-like.
and were also testing the limits over how much influence they can have over humans. Their first real test was getting him to create a machine that could upgrade any weapon put inside of it. This was the creation of the very first Pack-a-Punch machine. They guided him in constructing the blueprints, and despite not being much of a blacksmith, he was successful in the Pack-a-Punch's creation.
The day's the 19th of April, the year of our Lord 1885. Somehow. I don't know how it's possible. Last I recall, I was headed into the mine. I swear.
So
I was
pretty.
only down there for a few hours. When I come back up, townsfolk say I've been missing for 5 days.
So, what kind of snacks
And
did
it
you
was
get?
last night. When I slept, I had a vision. 2 angels came down to me from heaven. They told me I needed to be ready to prepare for what was coming. And what was coming, they would not tell me, but how to prepare. Build a machine, they said. A machine that will grant you great power. Now, this machine was complex, requiring craftsmanship and mechanical skill I did not have. I told them such, but they said not to worry. They would guide my hands. The way they described it, it sounded like a
Lasagna is a snack.
You
But hey,
stick your
bro, cheese and
rifle inside.
crackers and
When they come
pepperonis.
back out,
Dude, I'm jealous.
well, let's just say that
I wish
right.
I had like any kind of
Serious
snacks
punch.
in my house.
This machine garnered the attention of many locals and visitors alike, but most importantly, it proved to the keepers that humans could be of
Yeah,
use.
you're right.
The
I guess
keepers
that would
yet
make it a-
again visited Jebediah, only
Jesus.
this time hoping that he could craft the Agarthan device. This proved troublesome, as
No,
he
I
had
don't
no
have any
means of getting
snacks.
Elder God blood, nor 4 souls. What he was capable of, however, was crafting the vessel for which it would be held, and that's exactly what
We
he
don't-
did.
The day's the 30th of June, the year of
Here,
our
hold up.
Lord 18.
I won't talk over this. We're not really, I don't know why, but we just don't get snacks when we shop. It's a problem. However, since I didn't eat dinner, well, I did eat dinner, but I kind of want another. I ate a hamburger. Made it in the air fryer, bro. It's so good. And I low-key might go make another one. Well, I have Walmart Plus, and since I don't feel like going to Walmart, I I get it delivered. So I have it. It's being delivered tomorrow morning, and I made sure to get snacks. So as it turns out, I should have streamed tomorrow. I should have streamed this tomorrow night, and then we could have just been snacking. But that's okay. But yeah, I'll go make another one. I'll let this play, and I'll just go throw it in and then come back up.
5.
All right, I'll
My invention
be right back.
is talk
Keep
of
an eye on
the town.
things.
People been coming from far and wide, eager for a chance to upgrade their firearm. Revolver, rifle, the machine don't care. It'll pack 'em all. I pray every night, thanking the heavens for sending them 2 angels. I couldn't have done this without their guiding hand. They returned to me last night. They told me there was another machine they wished me to build. They called it the Agarthan device. Said it had the power to grant that which one truly desires. I told them I was their servant. Show me the path and I will walk. They said I needed 3 things. The blood of an elder god, an elemental shard, and a metallic vessel to harness and carry both. To find the blood, they instructed me to travel to the bottom of the ocean. I told them this I could not do, for I would perish. To craft an elemental shard, they instructed me to forge 4 souls with a blue rock from our mine. I told them this I could not do, for I do not have the means to siphon a human soul to an element. But a metal vessel? Well, I am a blacksmith. That I think I could manage.
Over time, the town would fall into ruin due to its close proximity to Element 115. The residents became delusional, paranoid, and even Jebediah suffered some side effects as well. He became overcome with grief about the loss of his mother, and for whatever reason, perhaps the simple madness of losing one's mind, he dug up his mother's corpse and put it into the Pack-a-Punch machine. This created an unforeseen result. Her body did not disappear from the machine as any normal gun would. Instead, an apparition of her appeared in their old house, although it was a much younger version from when she died. Her ghost would continue to be bound to the house for the foreseeable future.
The day's the 21st of July, the year of our Lord 1885. I have a confession. I am burdened with sin. I fear I am the architect of my own damnation. This town is cursed. The devil himself has possessed our people. Folk have been acting all kinds of crazy, paranoia, visions, seeing things that ain't there. And the violence. 7 dead in the last 5 days. Sheriff don't know what's gotten into these people. But I know it. It's that damned mine. Them blue rocks. Doc believes them to be meteors from
Okay,
the sky,
I am back.
from up in the stars. Maybe from heaven.
Did anything exciting happen when I was gone?
But whatever the cause, I fear the disease that consumes this town has gotten to me.
Oh, so somebody tell me when 12 minutes
Last
have
night.
passed.
I felt overcome with loss and grief. I went to see Ma at the cemetery.
I missed so much.
Maybe it was a whiskey.
Like as in the
Maybe it
video?
was delirium. I can't say, but I dug her up and took her into town. I took her to my shop where I kept the machine. I don't know what came over me. Like something took control of my body, like a puppet on strings.
Oh yeah.
I put her in the machine.
I have watched this a couple times, but it's been a while, so I don't really remember too much.
But she vanished. Nothing came back out. I stumbled home in a daze, but as I arrive, I see before my eyes, I see an apparition, a spirit. It looks just like her, only when she was younger. She floats around the house now. I catch her playing the piano. The angels. They came back to me again. I've built the metal carriage just as they asked. Only one thing left to do now. Upgrade it with my machine.
Seeing his purpose as having been
Bro,
fulfilled
putting
and
your,
the steady decline of his
putting your
well-being,
mom's dead
the
body in the
keepers
Pack-a-Punch
instructed him
machine?
one
Goddamn.
last task, to put the vessel he crafted into the Pack-a-Punch machine, which he did. Such energy mixing with each other wound up teleporting Purgatory Point beneath the surface of the Earth all the way in Angola, Africa. Following this, the town was completely overrun by zombies, and Jebediah is killed.
The day's the 22nd of July, the year of our Lord, 1885. We are truly lost. This town, these people, we are being punished by heaven for our transgressions, and now must suffer the righteous hand of retribution. I did as they asked. I put the metal vessel in the Pack-a-Punch machine just as instructed. Next thing I know, all the energy, all the power of the world gets sucked out of the air as if pulled inside the machine. Next thing, the world went white. I came to, and I see that my shop, all the people, the whole damn town has been transported, as if willed by the Lord, into this cavern buried below the surface of the earth. I fear we are at the threshold of hell, the world just waiting to open below our feet. We've been overrun by the devil's army. The dead have risen and now do us in battle. My name is Jebediah Brown, and I bow humbly before the two angels and ask for forgiveness. Show us the path to salvation. We are listening. Hello?
The events that transpired here would remain buried for some time. No one would know of the zombies or Element 115. All that was left were remnants of a once forgotten mining town. The setting and time frame for everything that's about to happen is World War II, Nazi Germany. The events that happened in the real world are very much the backdrop for everything going on around it. World leaders and military alliances all still apply. For this story, we are largely following the side of the Germans. The next character to uncover Element 115's existence was a doctor named Ludwig Maxis. He formed an organization known as Group 935 dedicated to this element's research and study. Among its constituents was Edward
Now we're getting to the good
Dr.
shit.
Richtofen
Hell
is a bona fide
yeah.
sociopath who sees no moral distinction between natural death and plain murder. He is a Nazi doctor and major general within the Axis ranks. He was originally at the forefront of torture and information extraction research during the war. But when approached to join Maxis to research Element 115, he joined. It is also important to note that Richtofen is also part of the Illuminati and was working on behalf of their interests when joining Group 935. The Illuminati's role in the entire timeline is largely unimpactful and not important. The facility they were given was at Doris. Other notable members within the organization included Sophia, Maxis's personal assistant and lover. Other accompanying scientists included the likes of Dr. H. Porter, Dr. Schuster, and Dr. Groff. There were also 2 spies who infiltrated the organization as well. Despite being kept under wraps, the OSS caught wind of this new project and infiltrated the group in attempts to learn more. These included 2 Americans named Peter McCain and later Dr. Harvey Yena. Years after Maxis's discovery, the Japanese army also discovered deposits of 115 in the swamp. They established the Rising Sun facility and similarly created a group to research it known as Division 9. In the early days of Group 935's formation, it was solely dedicated to Element 115's research and the concept of bettering the human condition.
Gentlemen, allow me to take this opportunity to welcome you to Group 935. This is a prestigious moment in the history of our race. You represent the future of technological advancement. You are the pioneers of human discovery. In your hands lies the destiny of mankind. In our hands is a great power, and with that power comes a price. You have volunteered to be part of this great experiment, and with that decision comes the responsibility of absolute secrecy. No one is to know what you do, where you work, what our research has uncovered, or what our purpose will be. You will have no further contact with your governments or with your families. Your decision to fully dedicate your lives to Group 935 is absolute. In your
Hold on, I gotta ask real quick. If you are in Twitch chat, speak up now. Alright, cool. There's nobody in Twitch chat. Yeah, welcome back, Victoria.
Manual, which will direct you should our manifesto get compromised. We cannot afford to let this power fall into the wrong hands, and therefore the Field Ops Manual should be considered your Bible. Make your preparations now. A new dawn is beginning for mankind.
Much of its time and effort went into building the matter transference device, a teleportation device developed by Element 115, though experiments with this would be largely unsuccessful. Attempts were made right out of the gate by teleporting human corpses, but they would always be reduced to slop. If the teleporter didn't immediately maim the subject, then they simply vanished without a trace. But the two stumbled upon a miracle. During one of their teleportation tests, the corpse was brought back to life. While the teleportation was a failure, this was a whole new avenue for further research. They learned Element 115 had the ability to reanimate the dead, and so Maxis sought to find a way to control them. But this was an especially difficult task as the zombies were always disobeying his commands. Maxis almost completely shifted his attention from teleportation over to the undead. Richtofen continued on with the help of Dr. Schuster. Over the next few months, the two scaled down their testing size from human teleportation down to a walnut, and for the first time, they successfully teleported an item as intended.
Log entry 38, date December 4, 1939. The matter transference prototype is prepared for test run number 151. We have now reduced our test subject's mass to prove that this is possible. Dr. Schuster, please give an overview.
Yes, Dr. Richtofen. We have the new test subject, a walnut, weighing in at 10 grams. The target platform is now at 3 feet with no obstructions. We have 1 microgram of the element, which, according to our calculations, will be entirely used up during test.
Excellent, Dr. Schuster. Commence test number 151.
Yes, Doctor. Please, insert your earplugs.
Good God! We've done it!
We have powered up the prototype and have moved a walnut directly from the prototype device into the receiving device. It moved instantly. It
Teleported. Get me Dr. Maxis immediately.
Maxis wasn't too pleased as he had instructed them to research the undead, but he was more upset for a different reason. Over time, Group 935 ran into financial problems and they needed someone who was willing to fund their research and developments. This is where Maxis struck a deal with the Nazi Party. They were willing to fund Group 935 and allow them to continue their research so long as they developed
Can I show
weapons
this?
for them, which Maxis agreed to.
Oh my gosh.
But this is not the crucial experiments that you are supposed to be working on.
With all due respect, Dr. Maxis, this is a breakthrough of unimaginable proportions.
What? That you moved a walnut a few feet? Yes, Edward. We will improve the human condition by revolutionizing the walnut industry. I can see it now. Edward's walnut delivery.
Don't be obtuse.
How dare you call me that? We are at war, Edward. I will admit that there is promise here. But until this war is won...
Correct me if I'm wrong, Dr. Maxis, but Group 935 is a research organization. What was the motto? To improve the human condition? What business of ours is this war?
Fine, Dr. Richtofen. I will let you in on a little administrative secret. We are finalizing a deal with the Nazi Party. We need funding. We need equipment. They need new weapons. Chances are this war will end soon with a treaty or two, and we will be in a much better position to help the world.
Are you certain this won't cause massive defections? We have scientists from all over the world working with us.
That is why it is with the utmost confidence that I share this with you. No one will know of this. This is simply the breaking of an egg to make an omelet.
Think of the tactical advantage we would have.
Think of the cost. Think of the time. We can provide the Nazis technical expertise in various areas without putting all our eggs in your walnut basket. Good day, Edward, and get back to your real work.
Bloody jerk. I think Dr. Maxis has lost his perspective. No matter. We'll do this on our own and publish the findings before he has a chance to.
You're not suggesting that Dr. Maxis would steal this technology and perfect it without us, are you?
I would by no means discourage that thought. Great scientists must stick together and achieve great science.
Fortunately for them, Richtofen had already invented the Wunderwaffe DG2, a wonder weapon powered by Element 115. To save the hassle of mentioning each individual creation as they happen, for the sake of simplicity, let's just go through them now. The Thundergun DG3 was the successor to the Wunderwaffe, originally thought up by Richtofen but instead created by Maxis. Maxis was also responsible for the JGB, also referred to as the Shrink Ray, as well as the original ray gun. Richtofen also invented the Monkey Bomb. The various other scientists within Group 935 had their part as well. Harvey Yena invented the Scavenger sniper rifle, Dr. Porter invented the successor to the original ray gun in the Ray Gun Mark II, and likely the Mark III as well. He was also responsible for the wave gun. Pretty much every wonder weapon found within the games were created by either Group 935 directly, or similar groups who were doing the same thing later down the timeline. This also goes for the perks and elixirs. Juggernog, Quick Revive, Speed Cola, and Double Tap were all fused with Element 115 for their special effects. These inventions would happen over the course of the timeline, so just keep that in mind. They didn't just all get invented in a few months. The Nazis were happy to fund them so long as their weapons development, teleportation technology, and reanimation of the dead were to be used to help them in the war.
Alright, I know damn well it's
Axis
been
was so
12
upset
minutes.
over Richthofen continuing the teleportation
back.
experiments when an undead army would be far more useful. But Richthofen was surprisingly a man of science. He might be a sociopath, but he continued to work diligently on human teleportation. In fact, as time went on, he became so confident in the success of the matter transference device that he offered himself to be used as a test subject. And this is where you can really say Richthofen's story begins.
Entry 42. Date, January 4, 1940. Dr. Schuster and I, despite mounting pressure from Dr. Maxis, have continued working on the matter transference prototype. We have made great strides in the last 30 days, and are ready for our first human subject. If our calculations are correct, we will send a test subject, me, to the receptacle station sitting 30 yards away and behind a cinder block wall.
Are you certain you want to do this, Dr. Richtofen?
Nein, Dr. Schuster. But this must be done. Quickly, put in your earplugs and power up the machine. Is there a power outage? Why is it so dark? I feel almost weightless. How very unexpected. Dr. Schuster? Hello? There. I can see now. Oh my God. I'm standing in a circular cave, surrounded by some kind of machinery. It's like nothing I've ever seen before. It looks almost alien in nature. There's a pyramid structure in the center of the room. I'm going to try and carefully touch it. Ah! Static electricity. It's smooth to the touch. Very cold. Not a speck of dust. Might be hollow. The chamber is quite large. I see what looks like capacitors in the ceiling of the chamber. But there are no obvious connections to anything electrical. What is this place? Dr. Schuster? Is that you? Dr. Schuster? Look at this. It appears to be covered in some kind of hieroglyphic language. I've not seen anything like it before. Why are you whispering to me? There's no need for that. Was is los? Do you hear that? It sounds like... My God! What happened? I seem to be in some kind of jungle. I can't be certain of where I am.
He was transported to the moon, where he encountered the ether pyramid that was hidden by the Apothecons. Piqued
I'm
by
back.
his curiosity, he inspected the device
Hello,
where he
hello.
was electrocuted, and thus the corruption of the dark ether spread unto
I will
him.
be eating
He
though, so I'm
began
probably gonna
hearing
mute my
the many
mic.
voices of corruption, including that of the Shadow Man himself. These voices told him many things and informed him about much of the alien technology. He was slowly driven insane, forming an obsession with finding a way to the fabled Agartha. Shortly after becoming corrupted, he was then teleported to Shangri-La. While it was initially shocking finding himself in the middle of a jungle, he did meet the residents of the area as well as uncovering more traces of Element 115. Upon learning this, it didn't take him long before he began manipulating them
No
for his
ASMR.
own benefit. Due to the indigenous people's primitive
Nuh-uh.
culture, Richtofen introduced them to the miracles of modern technology, hydropower, mining systems, electricity. Richtofen was worshipped as a god in their eyes, and this made it easy for him to convince them to mine element 115 for him, and they did. While here, he encountered the Focusing Stone, another elemental rock from the ether which held a unique purpose. When combined with something known as the Vril device, different to the Vril vessel, one can swap souls with another human being. Richtofen had an elaborate series of traps built to protect it, and once it was done, subsequently left Shangri-La. With no more guidance, the inhabitants, with constant exposure to 115, became zombies and died. He returned back to Doris less than a month later and informed Schuster of what he'd witnessed.
Log entry 43. Date January 23rd, 1940. I cannot be certain what happened to Dr. Richtofen once the test was commenced. He just disappeared from the machine into thin air. I have searched the area for days and have no evidence that he is anywhere. I am afraid I might have to scrap the...
Not scrap anything. We've done something. Something wondrous. Shh. Do you hear them?
Dr. Richtofen, you're alive.
I'm more than alive, Mr. Schuster. Is the device still intact?
Yes, but what happened to you?
Ah, something wonderful. That chamber was incredible. The wonders we can learn.
What are you talking about? Are you all right?
Get in the matter transference prototype, Dr. Schuster. We have worked.
Bearing witness to the pyramid on the moon, he and Dr. Schuster formed a plan to build a
Okay,
base there
I'm here.
where it could be further studied. The base on the moon would be known as Griffin Station. They used their newly successful teleportation technology to transport workers and supplies. Many 935 scientists were happy to join
Alrighty.
Richtofen's cause as they had become disgruntled with Max's
Yo, good night, Victoria. Appreciate the likes. Have good sleep.
arrangement.
I'm sure I'll be streaming tomorrow, I would think. Hell yeah. Good night, good night. Oh god, I'm allergic. I'm allergic to good nights.
With the Nazis. And from here, Griffin Station would continue to be built. Maxis was completely oblivious to the advancements Richtofen and his men were making, but that's in part because he had his own problems at the time. Funding was yet again running out, so he had Sophia write a letter to Reichstag High Command, informing them of this problem and updating them on the mass production of their weapons.
Sophia, this letter is to go to the Reichstag High Command immediately. Gentlemen, it is with the utmost urgency that I draw your attention to the lack of funding being injected into the giant project. Well, I believe we are close to
I was
realizing
just joking.
the
I felt like I was
ultimate
gonna
plan.
sneeze.
We still have several years of development before
I
it is
didn't end
ready.
up sneezing though.
It would be folly to cut our expenditures so early in our development. As you know, early tests on the DG2 have easily outperformed expectations, and we fully anticipate mass-producing the Wunderwaffe within the next few years. Work on the matter transference has, however, come to a standstill. We simply do not have enough element 115 to continue the experiment.
Alright, can I suggest something real quick? What if we keep the lore going, right? And then I play zombies in like the corner. What are we thinking? Is that like Inception or what? Is that a good idea? Hell yeah. Alright. Let me get that set up.
The test subjects have survived teleportation, but are currently unresponsive to commands and cannot be controlled. If we are to overcome
Yeah,
this
but like in the
obstacle,
best way.
we need to increase the frequency and size of the experiment.
Wait, what?
To this end, I suggest we find not only a regular supply of 115, but that we also
I'm
find a
low-key a
larger
little
conduit
lost.
to channel the energy. Our operatives in America have
Practice
informed
that
us that the U.S.
German
has a
accent,
large
though.
supply of the element at the Nevada base. So time is of the essence if we are to stay ahead of them. This cannot be done if you cut the budget, nor can it be done if you insist on pressuring us into action before we are ready. I am, of course, available for discussion on the matter, but in the meantime, I will continue with the work here and try to win this damned war. Signed, etc., etc., Dr. Maxis.
In response to this, Germany complied and even gave them new bases of operations to continue and expand their research. These included a repurposed theater.
Hold on, one more thing. I might have a problem here. Oh, God. I'm sorry for deafening you. Jesus. My lord. The burger might have been a little undercooked. So yeah. If I disappear, I might be dying. But hey, it is what it is. Yeah. I definitely did that. Definitely cooked it longer.
At the Kino facility in Kino der Toten, an asylum facility
Absolutely.
in Berlin, which is Verrückt. They even managed to convince the Japanese army to relinquish control of their Rising Sun
that big
facility
enough?
in Shinonuma. Division 9 would still remain intact, but just under the leadership of Group 935. Two other facilities were established as well. One in Siberia near the Tunguska
No,
River,
Eli.
which is where the maps Call of the Dead and Tag der Toten take place, and one
What do you want
in
from
an old
me?
rundown castle named Der Eisendrache. Now, I've gotten a bit into this timeline without mentioning
Alright.
someone who's to become very
Alright, hold on.
important down
What the hell is that? Here. How much screen do you need to see? Is that good? I'm just kidding. Yeah, if you're cool with it taking up a quarter, I'm cool with that.
the road, and that is Samantha Maxis. Her mother died upon giving birth, and so her father brought her along to the Doris facility to be closer to her. However, this would
Yo.
not be the case.
I think it would
Maxis
give me
was so
motion
focused and
sickness.
dedicated to his study and research that he often neglected Samantha and failed to keep an eye on her. As an attempt to make up for his negligence as a father, he gifted her a dog named Fluffy.
Now, you must be
Fluffy.
very diligent with her, Samantha. Owning a dog is a great responsibility.
Yes.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, I love her.
You must feed her every day and walk her, and be very careful when you play with her. You know she's going to have puppies.
Really? Can I keep the puppies too, Father?
We'll see, Samantha. One step at a time.
But for now, Samantha would simply just exist in and around the area. Just over 1 year later, Griffin Station was successfully built on the moon. Richthofen places Dr. Groff in charge of its research and returns back to Earth to continue the charade with Maxis.
Gentlemen, for 2 long years we have toiled here under the Eagle's Nest to build our fortifications. For 2 long years we have taken equipment to build up our
Hold on.
labs. For 2 long years we have worked with Group 935, believing that Dr. Maxis truly wants to help the world. For 2 long years we've led a double life. Today, that all ends. I bring to you what this project is all about. What I have worked to keep from my enemy. What is it, Dr. Richtofen? Looks alien.
Oh.
It is an
Uh-oh.
ancient drill machine. And you, Dr. Groff, are now the lead scientist here at Griffin Station. You will be the one to discover how it works. We first must discover what it does. Nein, Dr. Groff. I know what it does. It has a direct connection to another dimension. It is preposterous. No more preposterous than teleporting all of this gear to the moon and building Griffin Station. Is it? I suppose not. How do you know what it does? I have found many interesting real artifacts here. I have decoded some of their language.
Oh my-
All
oh my.
signs point to this device
I'm gonna get
being
killed
the
by a
same
crawler.
gateway to the ether.
Dr. Richtofen, I'm aware of a project being run by Dr. Maxis at Doris concerning Brill.
As am I. I am going back to my post at Group 935 to continue the charade. I will be finding out just how much information Dr. Maxis has on Brill. Once the machine is operational, I will enact my plan and return. Gentlemen, let the games begin. This is so loud.
For the most part, Maxis wouldn't pick up on Richtofen's schemes, but he would begin to question his sanity due to his frequent exposure to 115.
Though our matter transference tests at the new site have been largely unsuccessful, the teleporter's malfunction has nonetheless yielded some interesting data. The fact that the test subjects departed their original point of origin is undeniable. What is uncertain is what became of them. Richtofen is insistent in his belief that they have been transported not through space, but through time. In the absence of empirical evidence, I myself cannot entertain such madness. I fear, Richtofen, irrationality may soon prove a liability to our endeavors.
Regardless, it wouldn't matter. Soon he and Sophia were transferred to the Kino facility to focus on creating Germany's undead army. Maxis's methods involved a sort of brainwashing tactic. The subjects were exposed to a series of images to condition their memory. If the zombies were capable of recognizing and remembering what was shown to them, then it proved they were intelligent and had the ability to learn and thus be controlled.
The test subjects have been undergoing treatment for 5 days with little progress. I have been assured that given time, the programming will take hold.
Their most successful test subject was Subject 26.
In the past weeks, we have made great strides in breaking through to their subconscious. I have had the projectionists make edits to the film. These changes have been very effective. Subject 26 has had a breakthrough. He is responding to the treatment and following basic instructions. The violent outbursts have been
What are we
greatly
doing here?
reduced, and given time, we feel this method of treatment will be 100% effective in most cases.
Maxis
Okay.
didn't need the zombies to remain controlled forever, just long enough to be used as soldiers pointed in the right direction. The ideal amount of time was 26 hours.
Our timeline for deployment can be accelerated, given the progress we have made in the past 2 weeks. If patient 26 can retain the impressions longer than 26 hours, we will have the process perfect.
Unfortunately for everyone, this breakthrough didn't last long. Subject 26 appeared to be in a permanent state of docility, which caused everyone to let their guard down. It attacked its handler, which led to both Subject 26 and its handler being put down. However, it didn't only attack the handler. Sophia was also attacked and infected, though she tried to keep this information hidden from everyone.
After many weeks of
Shit.
failure and frustration,
Not
Dr.
Sophia.
Maxis finally achieved the breakthrough he had been searching for. The results were immediate and startling. In the case of Subject 26, his instances of violent outburst were non-existent. His docility appeared. Permanent. Unfortunately, while we prepared to implement the treatment on the other subjects, there was an incident. During his field test this morning, Subject 26 attacked a handler. 26 and the handler were both destroyed. Maxis believes Subject 26 only attacked the handler. He does not know who was attacked as well. I have observed a developing pattern of high fevers and cold sweats. My thoughts are erratic. My relationship with Ludwig is complicated. I fear I cannot keep this secret from him for long.
Maxis did find out about Sophia's injury. He kept a personal log documenting what happened to the subject and formulated his own plan of how to deal with his lover.
Another setback. Patient 26 was killed this morning in a field test. He lost control and attacked one of our handlers. His injuries were minor, but patient 26 was destroyed. The break-in programming coincided with the flashing lights and loud noises of the fire alarm in the test facility. One moment. What is it?
The break-in programming coincided with the flashing lights and loud noises of the fire alarm in the test facility. One moment. What is it?
You wanted to see me, Ludwig?
Sophia, yes.
Just saying that was not the same tone as the other
Have some tea.
the other tape.
Is everything all right?
No. Everything's fine. Drink your tea. I heard a nefarious rumor earlier regarding the field test with Subject 26. Are you feeling all right?
Of course.
Just strange, this rumor. May I see your arm?
What? No. Why do you need to see my arm?
Relax, Sophia.
Damn, that sounds suspicious at all.
You know that, right?
Of course, but...
And you know I care deeply for you.
Yes, but...
Yes. Then you know everything I'm about to do is for your own good. This is Dr. Ludwig Maxis, beginning preliminary trials for the Strategic Operations Planning Heuristic Intelligence Analyzer.
Just nutrients type shit. Oh shit.
Hello, Sophia.
It's so dark here. I can't see anything.
That's all perfectly normal. How are you feeling?
I feel nothing. What have you done to me?
I saved you, Sophia. I saved you the
Oh.
only way I knew how.
Got stuck on crates just like DVD.
He preserved her brain and transferred it into a machine, whom he'd also named Sophia. This would be Sophia's cruel fate for the foreseeable future. As for Maxis, he deems the zombies incapable of being controlled or maintained. As for Richthofen, when Maxis was sent to the Kino facility, Samantha was placed in his care, and he took her to the Siberian facility to conduct his own human experimentation, not just on new test subjects, but also on Samantha herself. It's not exactly known why or for what reason, but Richthofen had experimented on Samantha where he came to form a hatred for her. Nevertheless, this would slowly develop over time. It is also around this time that Group 935 uncovered remnants of Purgatory Point and collected all of the research found there left behind by Jebediah Brown. Richthofen learnt of the Agarthan device and its ability to make any desire come true, the necessary components needed to craft it, and he figured it would make a good backup plan to get to Agartha, if his goal to take over the world didn't pan out. Also, it kind of became Richthofen's goal to take over the world and gain absolute power. The Vril vessel was brought to him, and he kept watch over it and the Agarthan device's progress.
Log entry 937, date May 15th, 1942.
Oh god, oh god, oh
Our
god.
men have safely returned from Africa. There's a
A guy with no head who's trying to kill me.
in some sort of subterranean cowboy village. Apparently it was American. That's right, an American cowboy western town, buried underground in a
American.
stupid American Schwein with their apple pie and their baseballs, and thinking they can just waltz into another country and claim it as theirs. There is no art to their work. But I digress.
No North is so good, bro.
A number of fascinating articles and documents. They had pieces from a destroyed machine called the Pack-a-Punch. With a name as clever as that, it must be American. I have given the schematics to Dr. Porter. Perhaps he will have better luck replicating Jebediah Brown's work. Speaking of that blacksmith, we also recovered plans for the Agarthan device. It seems that the blacksmith already built one of the pieces, the fabled Vril vessel.
You
The
pack a
Agarthan
punch?
device, a device capable of granting that which one desires. Almost like a genie in a bottle. I think I shall keep this genie in my back pocket. If my plan fails, and it won't, perhaps this device can get me to Agartha.
As for Richtofen's human experimentation project, 3 test subjects were captured.
Log entry 1438. Date July 18th, 1945. Dear Diary, I have been at Group 935's Siberian facility now for nearly days, but mein cup already runneth over with exciting news. First, yesterday, I learned that I would receive not 1, not 2, but 3 test subjects. Hopefully with proper 115 injections, we will be able to use these specimens to access the human mind. The Chancellor's undead army is on standby until we crack
Bet you never
this
seen training
crucial
as good as this.
Firstly, a Japanese samurai in Bushido named Takeo Masaki. He's a man who's always been dedicated to his principles. He was born into a wealthy family, a bloodline dynasty of highly decorated samurai. Even from the early age of 5, he would be seen playing in the streets with his katana, slicing the tails off terrified kittens. It was clear that he was going to continue bringing
Takeo,
honor to
what
the
the hell,
Masaki
man?
name. His life was dedicated to perfecting his discipline, for without it, life otherwise had no meaning. He joined the Imperial Japanese Army and quickly rose up its ranks, as war was the perfect setting for him to explore his bloodlust and the nature of those less honorable than himself. Due to the legacy of his family name and actions on the battlefield, Takeo garnered attention from the Emperor himself. He witnessed Takeo's unwavering fear, his ability to stare death in the face and endure whatever was thrown at him, and he was jealous. He began to use Takeo for his own personal missions due to his loyalty. This even involved overseeing Division 9's research on Element 115. Takeo reported that the work being done there was unacceptable, and in response, the Emperor ordered Takeo to hand himself over as a test subject, for which he complied. Takeo was then taken by Group 935. The second test subject was the Russian sergeant Nikolai Belinsky. His reputation is shrouded in that of a ruthless killer, someone who's climbed up the ranks by murdering those ahead of him and sleeping his way through the political ladder. However, these stories of him may be just that, stories. In reality, there was only ever one thing he loved in this world, and that was his wife. She meant everything to him, but once Germany began their advance into the Soviet Union, the country became a war zone. They bombed the major cities, and Nikolai's wife was killed in the carnage. This was perhaps a fate worse than death for him. It sent him into a spiral of drowning his sorrows in alcohol. He drank
I also like the
and it is
PTRS.
likely within his drunken stupor where the tales of the ruthless killer Nikolai were born. Also made up were stories of his ex-wives. He began speaking about various other women he had married, who at least 5 of which he murdered himself. These women were non-existent, but rather a manifestation of the sadness he was burying deep within him. Nikolai would continue to fight on as a soldier, part of the Soviet forces. He participated in the Battle of Stalingrad where his brother was killed, and he was subsequently captured by German soldiers and taken by Group 935 to become a test subject. Richtofen's third test subject was a Mexican of unknown origin named Pablo Marinas. These three were subject to Element 115 experimentation as Richtofen attempted to unlock
I
the
am not
human
grabbing
mind,
that.
tamper
Killed
with the
myself
brain
way too
and
many
body
times
by
with
using
that.
Element 115 and create an army of soldiers for the German forces. It wasn't just about controlling these three in particular either. They also attempted to clone them so they could create their own soldiers. The Element 115 affected them all differently. Takio began vomiting uncontrollably, Nikolai was not responsive to the treatment unless vodka was involved, but it was perhaps Pablo who was affected the greatest. The Element 115 gave him visions from the past, the future, different timelines, and different dimensions. He quite literally saw through space and time. He rambled about what he saw, which caused him to be looked at as insane. While Richtofen continued to work on creating soldiers for the German forces, he began to find the work boring and uninteresting, which led him to reevaluate his interest in the Agarthan device's creation.
Log entry 1469, date August 28th, 1945. Dear Diary, progress continues on unlocking the human mind. If Germany hopes to continue their war, they need an undead army willing to obey orders. There's also been further interest in the Super Soldat program. The German Chancellor considers this of high interest. We have begun the cloning process. We will have to see what results we yield. Test subject N3WB has
Made
been
it to 11.
vomiting for 2 days straight. Our poor janitor. He has nightmares. Needless to say, we will no longer be serving fish. The Russian subject continues to be unresponsive. Dr. Yina suggested a serum made of vodka, but considering my concerns about his loyalty, I wonder if this is perhaps another attempt at sabotage. The specimen from Mexico continues to rant incoherently about giant monsters and some uber-fun war. Perhaps we were a little too eager with his 115 injections. I did not think he would go this crazy so quickly. If I'm being honest, I'm beginning to find this work a little drab and boring. Undead armies, super soldat programs. Group 935's deal with Germany has truly limited the organization's potential. The appearance of the spy last month has inspired me to review the blacksmith's schematics. The Agarthan device and its 3 components, the vril vessel, the apothecon blood, and the elemental shard. The instructions to creating the elemental shard have my interest piqued. 4 human souls merged with element 115.
You know, I haven't said anything
Not
yet,
trying to brag,
but
this may be
we're at
something in
15k
my
likes,
wheelhouse.
and I'd like to
Richtofen's
say I
experiments
appreciate
would
it.
continue with further failures, particularly the death of Pablo during a test to unlock the human mind.
Very,
via
very
the
silent 15k.
Scalpel, please, Dr. Yee. Scalpel.
Yeah, you're 2-shot as well. That's not fun.
What exactly are you looking for, Dr. Richtofen?
We are attempting to locate an
The most
appropriate
silent
stimuli
15K.
that will trigger the brain's involuntary willingness to obey command. There we are. Forceps, Dr. Yee.
Forceps, Dr. Richtofen. But the liver and kidneys? Or spleen?
Our goal is to unlock the barrier to the human mind.
Isn't it crazy that if you turn aim assist off in this game, that you still get aim assist?
The barrier may be where we least expect it. There we are. Retractors.
Yeah.
Retractors?
I do not mind.
Seems the
I do
Chancellor
not
has
mind
been
if
pushing
there's
hard
less
these
likes
days.
than there could be.
Is this because of the
So
spy? Was
get
it-
distracted as
Not
much
the
as you
assignment.
want. Trust me. It is all
I
good.
do not know, Dr. Ina. Our German leader, along with Dr. Maxis, is so limited in his thinking.
Oh my
He's
gosh, dude.
He's simple-minded, childish. Keeps pushing for his undead army when he could have the elemental shard.
The elemental shard?
A device capable
Yeah,
of
that old record got smashed and then never, it's never been under that ever since.
of immense power. Hold this open while I grab the injector.
Agarthan device. Why haven't I heard about this?
Dr. Yina, do you have a firm grip? You're shaking. I'm ready. Please, proceed. Injecting serum in 3, 2, 1.
Yep. As long as the dream team is around, it'll never be under 17k again. And as long as I stream long
I
enough.
guess the barrier isn't in his spleen. Nincompoop. You did this. I knew it. You let go on purpose.
Richtofen, it was an accident. My hand slipped.
Dunkov.
Log entry 1471. Date, September 2nd, 1845. Diary. Another day, another failure. This time,
If it is something bad happens.
The Russian
Jesus.
still smells like urine, even after he was given a bath and deloused twice. And I think I might have killed the specimen from Mexico. His spleen is on the floor and he's not moving anymore. I can verify with certainty, however, that the barrier is not located in the spleen. Dr.
Fucking trench gun again, dog.
I wonder what he might think of the experiment, the little girl.
Oh, there it is. It's about fucking time, dude.
As time went on and Richtofen descended into madness, Cornelius Purnell, who was responsible for sending Peter McCain in as a spy to Group 935, believed the group was losing control over its experiments and decided to pull the plug on the investigation. A special force team was formed with the intent of extracting Peter McCain.
Bad idea.
It was led by Tank Dempsey. He was chosen due to the grit he showed during the Battle of Peleliu. He and his men were captured during the early raids, and he spent 2 weeks submerged in malarial water in a rat-infested bamboo cage. He gnawed his way through the cage and took down his captors with only a bobby pin and his Medal of Honor. All he knows is war and working to win it.
Tank is a badass.
He is the definition of an American hero. He, alongside John Banana, Smokey, and Paxton Gunner Ridge, were sent to the Verrucht facility to extract Peter McCain. Before they got there, however, Peter's identity as a spy was uncovered and he was captured by Group 935. An outbreak at the asylum shortly followed, and amongst the chaos, Peter had managed to escape, but lost his left forearm in the process. By the time the extraction team arrived, it was too late. The facility was overrun, and they were forced to fend for themselves. Both Smokey and John Banana were killed. A radio was left behind in Banana's final moments of death when he lost his mind.
Field report. A quiet retort. The mission has all gone south. It's Johnny here. Smokey is near, most likely with meat in his mouth. We've been here for ages. I ran out of pages, but now have a mic to record. The mission has failed. McCain must have bailed, and now we must fight off a horde. We came to Farouk with low ammo and luck, and now Smokey's lost his head. We went down the halls, they bit Smokey's balls, and now he walks with the dead. They call me Banana, I worked at a cabana. I rhyme to keep myself sane. Though Smokey is dead, I'm holding his head, which right now is eating my brain.
What a song.
Dempsey, on the other hand, is captured by Group 935 and is used as a replacement test subject for the Mexican in Richtofen's experiments.
Log entry 1472. Date, September 10th, 1945. Dear Diary, today was a good day. The swelling has subsided.
I love how he says Dear Diary.
They made liverwurst for lunch. It was... I still have not had any luck reprogramming any of the live specimens. Dr. The key to unlocking the human mind will be more easily discovered on someone who isn't dead yet. I am not convinced. The army is stored until I can break this trust barrier. Oh, apparently someone in security found a spy in the group. They are delivering him from place the one that I broke.
The only survivor was Gunner, who managed to make his way back to the United States and report what happened to Purnell.
He fucking peeks in the mic.
Siberian facility, and he, alongside Nikolai and Takio, were all exposed to serums of element 115 and tested on by Richtofen.
Log entry 1473. Date, September 17th, 1945.
he was trying to go higher and higher every time.
I suppose this must be the replacement specimen. Time to get to work. I can still hear you. Hit him again with the stick!
There were many attempts to grow their own versions of these three, but each one of them came out deformed and a failure in one way or another. In the end, these tests would be unsuccessful and later abandoned. Experiments would continue to be conducted on the three, however. Serums of 115 were continuously injected into them, causing them to slowly go mad. Evidence of this can be found in their prison cells written on the walls. These experiments caused side effects in each one of the characters as well. Dempsey had a loss of intellect, but his will became stronger than ever. Takio became silent, but when he did speak, they were usually in old proverbs. And Nikolai became dependent and only responded via vodka.
Log entry 1474, date September 20th, 1945.
Oh, not good, not good. Don't be on fire.
Realized that we captured one of their spies. They tried to send a rescue team into Beirut. That was all first batch of test subjects. I suspect there are other moles in the organization. Dr. Harvey Ina and Dr. Peter McKay, to be precise. Dr. include any Americans in Group 935, no matter how much genius they held. Stupid Americans with their
Oh, jeez.
baseball and children. But I digress. The new American test subject is interesting.
And children.
His intellect seems low, but he's very strong. Like others,
Fucking Americans and their children.
Unlike the others, he keeps breaking for restraints and yelling at me. Test subject N3WB is still staring at the floor, muttering what sounds like some kind of proverb over and over again. I think his mind may have been destroyed by the process. Oh, there. The Russian subject recently began responding to stimuli, but only after injecting him with a new serum made primarily from vodka. Perhaps this is a breakthrough we've been waiting for.
While Richthofen continuously worked on unlocking the human mind, his own motivations and goals would also be tested. He began making progress on the Agarthan device, specifically the elemental shard. Using a processed rock of 115, Richthofen successfully managed to siphon off pieces of everyone's soul and put them into the rock. This included himself, as he needed 4 souls in total, and he was conveniently around.
Over. The Russian subject recently began responding to stimuli, but only after injecting him with a new serum made primarily from vodka. Perhaps this is a breakthrough in the experiment we have been waiting for. Perhaps I was too harsh on Dr. Yina. It was he, after all, who suggested the vodka serum. Credit where credit is due. Today also marks a great success for one of my side projects. Using a processed rock of element 115 and the Vril vessel, I was able to successfully siphon a piece of the souls from our 3 specimens and inject them into the rock. Without access to a 4th individual, I used part of my own essence. Much to my surprise, the rock grew and transformed, creating a beautiful shard of glass made purely from element 115 and parts from 4 human souls. The Vril vessel, the elemental shard. All we need now is the Apothecon blood, and the Agarthan device shall be complete. End log entry 1474. Or should I say 1474? Doesn't matter.
All that was left to complete the Agarthan device was the blood of an Apothecon. Unbeknownst to Richthofen or anyone at the time, by siphoning the souls of those 4 together, it effectively bound them across all dimensions and universes. No matter what, no matter where, these 4 were stuck with each other, though they wouldn't know it. Seeing how Richthofen began using Group 935's resources for his own personal projects, Dr. Yina saw it the perfect time to prove his loyalty to the organization in an attempt to clear any and all thoughts the others might have had that he might be a spy due to being American.
You cannot do this.
me no choice, Dr. Richtofen. You used 935 resources to work on personal projects. You've been threatening the employees, myself included, and you're clearly suffering from excessive 115-induced delusions.
Suffering from excessive 115-induced delusions? How dare you accuse me of such violence?
Better equipped to study it appropriately. You are to cease experimentation on the test subjects and put them on ice. You are to return with them to Dare.
Yo, round 20, my first game back after a long time. It's pretty good.
To the cause.
There's Jesus.
Mine dedication. All of my projects, my programs. You think I'm not dedicated? You have taken everything from me. Oh, well, I still have the DG2 in active development. I suppose that's something.
Actually, no. I'm afraid Dr. Maxis has canceled its mass production as well.
Yeah, I've had plenty of round 5 deaths, so I know how it is.
You are trying to destroy us from within. You're working for the Americans, aren't you? You're a spy. Just like Dr. Peter McCain, Dr. Maxis will never have hired Americans, no matter how much genius they have.
No, Dr. Richtofen, that's your paranoia talking. You've been exposed to element 115 for too long.
I'm not sure what my highest round is on this game. I don't remember.
Now, if you have any issues, I suggest bringing them up with Dr. Maxis.
Oh, don't you worry, little...
Going for a PB, though.
Apple pie brain, hyena. I intend to bring up a great many things with Dr. Maxis.
Richtofen was forced to put Dempsey, Nikolai, and Takio
I
on
mean,
ice, hand over the elemental shard, which was
he is German in the World War II era, so
it
makes
and
sense.
He was forced to return back to Darice with Maxis. And to top it all off, mass production of the Wunderwaffe was cancelled. Understandably, this pissed Richtofen off as he felt betrayed, and so he formulated his own plan to deal with Maxis and Samantha in the process.
I don't know why I'm repairing this.
Like I said earlier, he came to form a hatred for Samantha, though we never really see why.
Log entry 1475. Date October 1st, 1945. Die. As for the control group tests, they have been put on hold. Recently, I discovered that Dr. Max does not plan mass producing the DG2 as is for him. If he won't move those plans forward, then I will continue following his dream of an undead army. He doesn't deserve his perch of power. He doesn't know what to do with it. But I know just what to do with him. And I'll take care of that little brat if I get the chance to.
Before we go any further, we must first talk about the progress being made on the moon with the MPD during this time. When we last left off with them, Richtofen had just placed Dr. Groff in charge of its oversight.
Group 935 has defied all those who doubted our cause. Since the discovery of element 115, we have achieved so much. Our weapons program alone has advanced beyond even our wildest expectations. Furthermore, the fact that we have been able to establish a permanent base of operations on the moon itself leaves me filled with optimism for the future. We can literally do anything.
Despite countless hours of analyzing and studying the MPD, it yielded little to no results. It wasn't until by pure accident when Dr. Schuster killed a nearby rat that its soul entered the device and began charging it.
Log 1075. Dr. Schuster and I have spent countless hours with the pyramid device in an attempt to understand how it functions. We have made little progress until now. Today, we uncovered what looks to be some kind of tank with a glass-like front. The glass itself seems...
I've got you now, rat.
Kill it, Schuster. Did you see that? Look, the capacitor is illuminated. The tank is filling.
The machine. It seems to be activated. What did you do?
I think we just discovered what powers this machine.
This information was swiftly sent to Richtofen, who had no hesitation in what needed to be done. Richthofen arranged for various scientists and soldiers to be sent to the moon, where they would be sacrificed to charge the pyramid.
Station, this is Eagle's Nest. Status update, over.
Hello, Doctor. We have the shipment and are carrying out your orders. Grim work, Doctor.
All in the name of science, Dr. Gruff. Continue until the tanks are full.
Yes, Doctor. May God have mercy on us all.
Fucked,
For
man.
Richthofen's plan to succeed, it would spell the downfall for Group 935 entirely. He intended to execute something known as Operation SHIELD, also known as Security Protocol 935. It is never directly explained what this is, but logic would dictate it's the emergency measure everyone is to take in case of an outbreak. All Group 935 members are equipped with cyanide pills to kill themselves so as to not suffer a gruesome mauling at the hands of zombies. Group 935 would effectively die. It's not what Richthofen inherently wanted, but he believed Maxis had changed the group's goals from researching Element 115 to simply helping the Nazi party, and he hated that. But he didn't want the work to go to waste. In fact, he wanted it to continue. So instead, he struck a deal with the Americans and Russians. He agreed to hand over their research and findings thus far, and even have scientists, which he trusted, be transferred over as well under their supervision. Considering how Group 935 was at the forefront of its research, they agreed.
October 10th, 19...
You've done what, Dr. Richthofen?
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you not see the microphone in my hand? Recording for posterity is important. Ahem. October 10th, 1945.
You've made a deal with the Americans?
And the Russians. You can't forget them.
But our work, this war...
The war is over, Dr. Schuster. It is my responsibility to ensure the work of Group 935 continues.
But these deals... It would mean the end of Group 935. The Americans and the Russians would tear us apart. Everything we stood for.
Everything this organization stood for died the day Dr. Maxis made that infernal deal with the Reichstag. You and I both know this to be true. Listen to me and understand. Our technological developments with 115 are the envy of the entire world. These agreements guarantee our work will continue in America and Russia, and that they will continue with our scientists at the helm. I am sorry, but for our work to live on, Group 935 must come to an end. Oh, cheer up, Dr. Schuster. I have asked that you go to the Americans. It will be good for your softer side.
You will not go to America?
Nor to Russia. Once Dr. Groff confirms that the MPD is ready, we will proceed with Operation SHIELD as planned. And then, I have a date with destiny.
What are you getting out of this deal, Dr. Richthofen?
A feeling of fulfillment that I've saved my fellow scientists from the unemployment line and possibly prison.
Edward, please.
Don't you worry about me, Dr. Schuster. I will be well taken care of.
By this point in time, Richthofen had returned to Doris. The pyramid was charged and ready to be used, so Richthofen could finally carry out his plan to get rid of Samantha and Maxis.
Eagle's Nest, this is Griffin Station. We have an update. Over.
Dr. Groff, have you made any progress?
Yes, Doctor. The machine is ready and awaiting the conduit.
Very good. I will proceed with Operation SHIELD and join you shortly.
Security Protocol 935.
Yes. I will dispose of Dr. Maxis and that little brat personally. Do not touch anything.
Teleportation tests continued as usual with Richthofen and Maxis, unbeknownst that Richthofen had already figured everything out.
Initiating test number 3. Subject is within the test chamber. Activate power. Oh my God. Do you hold yourself and clean that up? Test number 3. Unsuccessful. Test subject has been reduced to the same state as previous subjects. Clean up the test chamber and recalibrate the system. Let's do it again.
Yes, Doctor.
Though our matter transference tests at the new site have been largely unsuccessful, the teleporter's malfunction has nonetheless yielded some interesting data. The fact that the test subjects departed their original point of origin is undeniable. What is uncertain is what became of them.
No, I gotta say, I don't know why Maxis is all of a sudden like interested in teleportation when he didn't really care about it earlier, but you know, whatever.
I fear, Richtofen, irrationality may soon prove a liability to our endeavors.
For test number 5, Maxis actually used Fluffy, the dog he gifted to Samantha, though Fluffy would disappear into the ether.
No, Fluffy.
Tie the damn thing down. We can't have it running around during the test.
Fluffy.
It's tied down now, Dr. Maxis. Initiating test number 5. Subject is within the test chamber. Activate power.
Searching for vitals. No reading, Doctor. The subject has disappeared. Dr. Maxis, we've done it.
Don't be foolish. Test number 5 is unsuccessful. Subject has vanished, yes, but has not reappeared at the mainframe.
Rip Fluffy.
Recalibrate the damn system now!
The invention of the
Number 6
Hellhound.
is where Richtofen enacts his coup to finally get rid of Samantha and Maxis.
Initiating test number 6. Subject is within test chamber. Activate power. Damn it, Edward! Did you set up the device correctly?
Yes, Doctor. As per your specifications.
If you had done it to my specifications, then it would have worked, wouldn't it? As usual, your incompetence has...
What? Do you hear that, Doctor?
Oh shit, Fluffy's back.
Test number 6 is a failure, but the experiment has caused
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
electrical port energized within the chamber. Well, open the door!
Doctor, I don't think...
Open the door, now!
Daddy, what are you doing?
Dude, I'm doing
Samantha,
so
I told
much.
you never to come in here. Edward, get her out of here.
Yes, Doctor.
What's wrong with her? Daddy, what did you do? Fluffy!
Come back here, Samantha! Stop her!
How did Fluffy become a zombie?
Easy. Come here, Samantha.
Or a Hellhound?
Good girl, Flossie. Gently, Samantha. That's not Flossie anymore. We must get out of here. What? Edward, what are you doing? Open the door! Edward, open this door now!
I'm scared.
Don't go! Stay by me, Samantha!
Goodbye, Dr. Maxis.
Fluffy reemerged from the teleporter, though not as the dog she once was. It was changed into a hellish beast. This is what would go on to be known as the Hellhound. Maxis and Samantha were trapped in the test chamber and teleported. Richtofen had no intention of teleporting them anywhere specific. It seems that he had actually just intended for fate to decide, or perhaps he was hoping that the teleportation would simply kill them outright. But that's not what happened. Samantha was teleported to the moon, where she encountered Groff and Schuster. Scared and frightened, she fled for her life, where she accidentally ran into the MPD, where she was sucked inside.
Mr. Schuster, report.
The tanks are full and the shields are down. The machine
Oh my
is humming
gosh.
Good. And what of the shipment?
Most are buried outside of the base. The live ones we've sent back to Kustova Postum.
Excellent. There's nothing left but to wait.
You know, I gotta say,
Perhaps
here, let me
this is a
pause
good
real
time to-
quick. I wonder how long they had this story, like, figured out. Because the mission, the map that I'm playing right now, Noct, of course, was just kind of like their, like, it was like their, it was supposed to be like a secret mode after you beat the campaign. And now it, like, spiraled into all this. So I wonder how, like, long they actually had all this figured out. I have no idea. I mean, they already had like what do you want to call them? Radios and stuff that played some of these tapes. So, yeah. Like that's what I think too. It's just like it's crazy that they kind of had like groundwork for it though in like all the way back in like Derice with like the what do you want to call them? The radios and stuff. And I think they even had the one where he traps Maxis and Samantha in the teleporter, and I think they had that radio somewhere in there. So it's just like it's just crazy. I guess they like probably had to put it all together over time and just somehow it worked out. Oh, hold on, it hit play.
Work on my low gravity putting in the biodome.
But yeah, it is super intricate, bro. It is so complex. And I actually like I love it.
She's coming right for them. Get her! Get back here! Nay, do not let her! Damn it! Dr. Schuster, find a way to get
Yeah.
her out of the pyramid.
Yeah, right. Whoever came up with all this definitely needs a raise. They probably don't work for the company anymore.
Simply known as the Crazy Place. It is a difficult location to describe, but in the simplest of terms, it is a gateway to get to Agartha. Many have searched for it or something like it to get to Agartha, but this is unequivocally where one can do it. It seems to exist outside of time and space, similar to Agartha itself. This is relevant because while stuck here, Maxis develops the power to merge with electricity. As for Fluffy, it is unknown where she was teleported. Seeing Samantha entering the MPD as a potential issue, Richtofen was informed of this development. He figured if Samantha lived, then Maxis would also have to as well, and he must be somewhere in the world. While Richtofen has proven to dislike Maxis, if anyone could be capable of coaxing Samantha out of the MPD, it would be her father.
How did she end up there? No matter. I know what must be done. In the meantime, see if you can find Dr. Maxis. Perhaps he can talk some sense into her.
Did you not deal with him already?
Yes. But if the child ended up there, then Maxis must be somewhere too. Find him.
How do you propose?
Dr. Groth, I cannot do everything for you. I leave this in your capable hands. There is much to be done.
Yes, Doctor.
Oh, and Groth?
Yes.
I keep an eye out for an evil-looking dog while you're at it.
Maxis is successfully located and brought to the moon, but things don't play out as they were hoping.
I hope this works. Schuster, power it up.
Systems nominal. Accessing the device. Interface via MPD active. Accessing MPD. MPD integrity check nominal. Awaiting input.
Excellent. Bring the sample.
These zombies are getting tough, brother.
Analyzing MPD. Creating profile. Profile created.
Excellent. Now, scan for target.
Yes, Doctor.
Target located.
Bring him here immediately.
Greetings, Dr. Maxis.
Schuster, I should have known. Where is that rat Edvard? Where are we? And how did you get me out of that wretched
None of that is important right now. Allow me to fill you in.
Samantha, honey, Daddy is here. Come, dear, please. Open the machine. Daddy will not let them hurt you anymore. Honey, Daddy knows he's made some mistakes. I am truly sorry that you were put through so much. When your mother died, I could not bear the thought of losing you, too. That's why I kept you so close. I did not mean to neglect you. I just wanted to know you were safe from harm.
Daddy!
I love you, Samantha.
I love you too, Daddy.
Can you do something for me? Something very important.
Yes.
Kill them all. We are doomed.
Maxis committed suicide in front of Samantha to further push her down the path of revenge. The Dark Ether does what it does best: corrupt. A mere shock was enough for Richtofen to hear voices of the Apothicons and drive him to insanity and obsession.
All right,
But now
round 30,
Samantha
my
was
first
drowning in
attempt, not
As
bad.
such, you can imagine how the Dark Ether corrupted her like no one had ever seen. As the zombies were born of Element 115 and the MPD created to control the Ether, Samantha could now control them. And so she unleashed hordes of the undead against whoever she could, almost exclusively targeting Group 935, however. As for Maxis, he did not truly die. With his newly formed power to merge with electricity, upon death he merged with Griffin Station and its technology. From here, all hell breaks loose. Doris and Shinonuma are two of the first locations to fall victim to Samantha's attacks. Dr. Porter was at the Doris facility when it happened. He is the one who activates the alarm signaling to the other scientists to kill themselves or escape. He personally takes the option to kill himself.
But I'm all out of hope. Auf Wiedersehen, my friend.
Warning, the shield is now active.
Damn it! I can't find my pills.
Materials and report to the barracks.
They are coming. I must do what I must do. God forgive us all.
To destroy the designated materials and report to the barracks. This is not a drill. Warning, the shield is now active. To destroy the designated materials and report to the barracks.
What a way to go.
Seeing no other option and faced with an endless undead horde, Richtofen needed capable soldiers by his side to assist him in taking down and usurping power from Samantha. So he returned to the Doris facility and reawakened his old test subjects: Dempsey, Takio, and Nikolai. Fortunately for him, the three had no memory of who they really were, or more importantly, who Richtofen was. It didn't take much convincing to get them to side with him, as the undead were an easy enemy to rally them together. From this point forward, this group would be known as Ultimus. To take control from Samantha, what Richtofen needed was his diary. The extensive research of 115 he had documented, the Agarthan technology he'd uncovered, everything the voices told him, it was quite difficult for the mind to contain all of this information, and thus he documented it in his diary. However, there was one slight problem. The diary was currently at the Shinonuma facility. Considering Richtofen has never been there before, it is likely that his diary was taken when the elemental shard was transferred and he was restationed back at Doris. It is also important to note that Peter McCain, who had escaped the Vorucht facility all that time ago, was given orders to rendezvous with the OSS at the Rising Sun facility. He parachuted over the Rising Sun facility, however died shortly after. The Ultimus crew arrive and retrieve Richtofen's diary with minimal interference. From here, Richtofen what he needs is the Vril device, the golden rod, and the focusing stone he encountered in Shangri-La. When combined, they can be inserted into the MPD and swap the souls of any two individuals. This is how Richtofen intended on seizing power from Samantha and confronting Samantha before any artifacts had been acquired. This does not go as planned, however. One of the characters accidentally overcharged the teleporter with the Wunderwaffe, which wound up sending them through time itself. Ultimus went from 1945 to 1963 to the Kino facility in Berlin. This teleportation also caused Richtofen to accidentally drop his diary, leaving it at the Doris facility. While in the future, Samantha, who had gone fairly dormant in the years of their disappearance, relaunches an attack at the facility, attempting to kill Ultimus. The group
I just had the wrong movement
to
there.
do here whatsoever, and so simply searched for a means of escape. They found one in the form of a lunar lander, which flies them to their next facility. But before we get there, considering this is the future, a lot of events happened in the time frame that Ultimus skipped. First and foremost, considering Richtofen's plan involved the downfall of Group 935, that is precisely what happened. The organization fell, but his plan in allying the Soviets and Americans carried on flawlessly.
I think
from here, the story branches off
32
into
might be my highest that I've ever gotten, not gonna lie.
What the Soviets were testing. By this point, World War II had come to an end, and we were entering into the Cold War and the space race. Only, for the sake of the story, the reason the Americans
can figure that
and
out,
Soviets
actually. Hold
were
on.
so eager to make it to space was because they both knew the MPD and the research from Griffin Station was there. Whoever got there first would claim it for their country. On the Soviet side of Group 935's research was Harvey Yena, the American spy. After Group 935's disbandment, he had the option to either return to the US or continue further research into Element 115. He saw this to be the perfect opportunity to continue assisting America while not being with them. It was clear that they were getting their own portion of Group 935 scientists, so he decided to go with the Soviets and double their research. He hired two scientists to help him, Anton Gersh and Yuri Zavoysky. And together they made the Ascension Group. There were many projects going on in Ascension at the time, many of which involved getting to the moon. There was the standard rocket testing along with attempts of teleportation. This was also further pushed thanks to the Soviets obtaining Richtofen's diary from Doris, which he dropped when they teleported through time. The Soviets saw decent progress with teleportation, but not enough to actually make it to the moon. This is where we need to branch off slightly and return to a previous character from the timeline as they become quite relevant right now. And that is Pablo Marines, the Mexican test subject from Richtofen's experiments at the Siberian facility. Richtofen initially deemed him dead after removing his spleen, which ironically Harvey
Not gonna lie, I
but
think
what truly
it
happened
was...
is that while yes, he did appear dead at the time, due to the 115 injections, he actually woke up.
Also, hold on, I gotta say this real quick. I was in the middle of a Halo 2, full Halo legendary run. I was in the middle of Halo 2. And I gave up on it a whole year ago, apparently. And I've been meaning to go back, like, ever since. Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to say that. And also, I was also in the middle of playing all the zombies maps. And I stopped doing that as well. I don't know. It's just like, I lost my, I lose my drive when I'm in the middle of doing it. And all of a sudden that's just it. I've been meaning to go through my Halo runs and make videos on them, and like, I don't know, it's just never happened, but like, it will happen. It will happen. I will catch up eventually, but yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's honestly wild to me that like it's a year ago already. Like, Jesus, time flies. My God, I used to stream Valorant. That's crazy. I used to have Emmy as my little PNG tuber. Alright. Who's down one of these nights to watch my old streams? I can't find the any more World at War. Oh, you want to see something cool actually? Hold on. Hold on. Yeah, I gotta go BRB for a second. Look at this. Hybrids. 3 players. Look at, there I am. Tied for 10th. With my 2 brothers. Yo, what's up, Slimer? Thanks for dropping in and saying hi. I hope your stream went well. Appreciate the likes as well. Oh shit, bro. Thanks for the 25 GGs. Anyway, we wanted to beat 50. And that was the current world record for 3 players on Shinonuma at one point in time. And then these guys came out and got 100. The problem is with that is they allow you to use plutonium, I believe it's called, which allows like people in which allows like people to join in multiplayer, which, you know, didn't happen in World at War back in the day. But yeah, it would have been like, it would be so cool to do it legit. Always wanted to go back, never could, never had the time though. You know, this took 6 hours, I believe, to get to 35. I should find that stream. And actually, the video's right here. Oh my god, my old starting soon screen. Let's see. Oh, it was 4 hours. It wasn't quite 6 hours. I lied. It was 4 hours. Only reason we died was because my older brother wanted to get off because I think he probably had work or something. And so he went to sleep. The next round was dog round. And me and my younger brother got fucked up. Yeah. Anyway. This is unlisted for some reason. Why is it unlisted? Huh. Another complete zombies playthrough that I stopped 2 years ago. Okay, anyway. Yo, it was always a good time hanging out with the bros. My older brother doesn't get on too much anymore, but yeah, it's all right. He's got bigger and better things to be doing. Oh shit, hold on. Oh. Oh. I thought like yeah, actually. Holy shit, no way. If you are able to sort it to Xbox, we're top with these guys, of course. We're tied first on Xbox. That's actually pretty impressive, I'm not gonna lie. Let's see what other... I don't know if we're on any of these. Might be on this one. Oh yeah, we're in 19th. 23. Yo, for sure. Get these PC plebs out of here. Don't think we had a good one on Verruct. There was one that they did not want to take. Oh yeah, that's 29th. Pretty shit, not gonna lie. There was one that they would not take, and I think it might be the Doris one. Cause I don't know, they kept on saying like it was the wrong thing, but I swear to God it was the right thing. Oh no, we're here. Okay. We made it to 31, we're in 22nd. I think that's really all we did. We might have played some Black Ops. I don't know that we made it. I mean, I might have just not submitted it. And we probably would have been in this area somewhere, I think. Alright, sorry for taking us off course. We're back. I don't know what game I will be playing now. I'll find something.
Ended, and Group
I'll figure something out. Hold
was
on.
disbanded. He woke up at the Siberian facility to the hordes of zombies left behind.
Day 521. I still don't know how it is possible, but late last year, I awoke from a watery grave. When I swam to the surface, I found the German military base abandoned. Only the undead remained on their shores. I attempted to flee, but the fog, it seemed no sooner that the shore faded behind me, it reappeared in front of me. Every attempt I made to escape, it led me right back here. As if I was meant to be here. I have begun broadcasting a radio signal. I'm hoping that someone will answer and come to my rescue. But if no one comes, I'm not sure how much longer.
I'm not really sure what I want to play right now.
The experiments done on Pablo
Should I do
gave him
more
visions
zombies,
of past and
perhaps?
future. It opened his mind to other dimensions. In these visions, he saw himself
I don't
fighting
know which
in
game.
the Great War that happened close to the beginning of the timeline, when humanity and the Keepers banded together to fight the Apothicons. He saw this and believed it to be his destiny.
Day 3682, I think. Last night, I had a dream. A dream I have not had in many years. Like the ones I used to have at der Eisendrache. I dreamed I was in medieval times. During a great war, a war to end all war. I'm attacked by one of the great beasts.
Yo.
It holds me within its grasp, about to end
What
my
about
life.
Supermarket Simulator?
But I am saved. Spared by a man in cloth, not a priest. Someone more powerful. He wields a staff of fire.
Oh, Twitch, what's going on?
Stand atop of a mound.
Oh, I just crashed.
Raise
Okay.
their staffs in unison. And suddenly,
Alright. Yeah, my stream crashed. Oh, are we back? What is happening? Yeah, we back. What the fuck is going on? Are we good? Hello? What the fuck? Yeah, we good? Did my stream just crash or no? I have no idea what just happened. I feel like it did, right? I don't even know. I don't know, whatever. Forget it. Let's try to change this super market simulator. There it is. Yeah, it seems like we're back. I have no idea what the hell just happened. My bit rate shot up to 12,000 at one point. It was fucking wild. All right, we're back.
The knights know